I felt so bad.
Did you see that Jack Black kicked out one of his band members?
Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle Gass?
Yeah, from Tenacious D is no longer a thing.
Yeah, I felt like it was bullshit.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I can't imagine why you would think that. It's because Kyle Gass made insensitive comments about the presidential assassination attempt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and of course,
Will
like, would have been throwing parties if he'd gotten shot that day. So,
I just feel like, well, I do.
Which I guess he did get shot.
In fairness, to clarify, I don't think shooting any one person would necessarily solve anything.
No.
Because a systematic check, if that was possible, then systematic change would have happened a long time ago.
Probably.
But the thing that I think is really silly about it is that Jack Black is supposed to be putting on this image of like, fuck the man, I'm a bad
He's a
boy,
rock star.
He's a rock
type
star
of
thing.
bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels very sellout to
A lot of character.
Yeah, it's definitely like a breaking kayfabe or whatever you want to.
It would be like if Marilyn Manson
obviously
did that.
he's already a sellout. He's a millionaire, right?
And he's in the Mario movie. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been a
Obviously,
sellout his entire career.
He's a sellout.
I mean,
but
do you expect him to just, leave all that Kung Fu Panda movie on the table, or all that Kung Fu Panda money on the table and walk away?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do expect someone who portrays themselves as a punk to do something like that. Yeah.
He's not even really a punk. He's like one of those. He portrays himself as like one of those leather-wearing metalhead guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not really punk as much as it is just the most cringe type of human being that exists on the face of the planet. Like the Metallica fan,
I guess
leather
I should say,
jacket guy.
He comes across as someone who would be anti-authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, he's a rock star. He has to come across as anti-authority. Otherwise,
Well, he definitely doesn't now.
No, absolutely not.
But he's also like 30 years older than when he first started doing
How
that.
old is Jack Black?
50s, I'd say.
If you're gonna live by it, you should die by it.
He's definitely lived and made his living by it, but I don't know if he lives by that considering that he's not been really in the music scene outside of his comedy rock band for 30 years. He was in the Gorillaz video. I mean,
He was in the Gorillaz video.
The last big thing Jack Black did was
Probably the Gorillaz video.
was definitely being Bowser.
I would say it was Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4 came out after the Mario movie?
Yes, I believe so.
Ugh,
He passed
gross.
the torch.
He passed the Bechtel test.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it.
Who did he pass the torch to? Thought he's still doing that.
Whatever that Fox character is.
I hate to say it, but I've always hated Jack Black. And I want to like him.
I've always liked him.
I've always wanted to like him, but I hate him. He seems like such a... I don't know. I don't know why I don't like... He's so fakely upbeat.
Yeah, I agree. I've never quite... I liked him well enough, but he's always seemed superficial.
He's a character. He's not a real human being. He doesn't come off as a person.
He does. It seems like everything he does is not like necessarily calculated, but definitely like I'm manipulating you to think a certain way.
Yeah, to make you think I'm cool and upbeat and happy and listen to my wacky voice and my comedy music. I don't know. It's just he's so offbeat.
I agree, but like I said, I mean, I like some of the stuff he's produced. Like I like Brutal Legend that he was in.
I really liked Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. Thought that was a really fun movie.
I'd like in 20 years to see...
It didn't make money worth a damn, but it was a really funny movie.
I'd like to see Jack Black in a movie in 20 years that's something like Her, where he's just a loser. Like, his image is he's the coolest guy. And he never plays anything where he's not the coolest dude.
That's not true. He was Claptrap in Borderlands just recently.
Yeah, but that's still like being the coolest guy.
School of Rock. He was a loser in that.
Yeah, and then he turns everything around and makes the kids love him, and he brings the kids back with rock music.
I'm just saying, you said he never plays a loser, but
he's like a stoner loser.
I mean, like a loser.
I mean, like I want to see
You want to see him as like in the Will Smith movie where like he's like having to sleep in a subway station with the sun.
Yeah, Patrick just wants to see him broken on the ground.
I want to see him play a dramatic role. That's all. I just want to see him play a dramatic role where he's not a comedic character.
Just because you don't like him, and it's the opposite of his normal shtick.
Yeah, and maybe I might make me appreciate him. I mean, that's all. That's all I want. I want to see him do something where I feel like he's pulling not what he usually does to prove to me that he's more than a one-trick pony.
You want to see him pull Jim Carrey's 23.
Or fucking Will's favorite movie, the Bechdel Show or whatever, the fucking the drama man,
Really confused.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty is
Truman
a comedy.
Show?
Truman Show, that one.
Oh, I'll say Bruce Almighty is a comedy with a couple of random
I want to see
serious
Jack
scenes in
Black be in the Truman Show. Like, I want to see him do something like that. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be.
Welcome to the AnythingCast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
And it doesn't look like we're going to laugh this episode at all. We're talking about Jack Black. Jack Black sucks.
Are you guys
Everybody
excited
hates
to see
him.
Joker 2?
Didn't we talk about this already?
Maybe.
Eric said he's not because he was like, it looks gay or whatever. And he was like, it's a musical though, Eric. I mean, why did you say it looks gay and bad? You love musicals. And also, you're gay and bad. So
I don't love musicals. I just love some things that happen to be musicals.
notice he didn't say that he's not gay and bad.
Oh, I am. I'm bad gay.
Oof. Hell yeah, baby.
Get over here.
Give me a kiss.
Well, fine. If we already talked about this, you come up with a topic.
Do you think the American dream is dead? Real or fake? Do you think the American dream ever existed?
No, because that's propaganda.
Do you think it's propaganda, or do you think the concept of the American dream is like being able to like start your own business?
The American dream is like the lottery. Okay.
Yeah.
People do win it, but going after it with the intent to win is a complete and total crapshoot. You could do everything right and still, end up on your back destitute.
You think less people today achieve the American dream than they did in the 60s? Is it just correlate directly to the economy?
I would say yes, to a certain degree. Obviously, as Will said, part of it was always going to be propaganda because
white picket fence of 2.5 children and a wife.
I mean, from the very conception, we had debtor jails. The farmers who came over here were sharecrop farmers. They didn't get to live the American dream. If you go further, then you had the Civil War, which killed all the economy.
Is the American dream
So a lot
just
of
freedom
the-
of religion?
Poor people didn't get to, grow in their generational wealth. Yeah, maybe.
No,
Is
the
that
American
true?
The American dream is the ability to move here and thrive independently as yourself.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the propaganda one.
Mhm.
That's the one everybody knows. Everybody comes from the other side of the world to come here and live that one. Is the real one just you can, whatever your religion is, we're fine with it?
I guess it's faux pas or it's taboo.
Well, that's not true either, because Christians are not fine with other religions.
They're
Depends
not,
what state you're
but
in. But
yeah, like the idea is that legally speaking, we have codified non-discrimination laws and the like.
Yeah, and you can talk back against the government.
Yeah.
You got freedom of like talking against the government.
You have
can
most
be whatever
of
religion
freedom
you
of
want.
speech.
Yeah, you have a good deal of freedom of speech.
Way
in
more than
relation to
most
the government.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like more than like the UK.
Yeah, for sure.
Freedom to bear arms is probably a big one.
That too.
Yeah, people probably look at that. I mean, especially like Asian countries probably look at that and they're like, that's the American dream. I get to have a revolver and do sweet revolver flip tricks.
Yeah, like you can own guns, you can worship whatever god or not god that you want.
You can wear a 10-gallon hat.
Which they're trying to make illegal, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they've always been trying to make that illegal.
You can have a horse. You can live on a prairie.
The only trick is
Eat beans out of a can.
how many
You have to
prairies do you
have
think, like
money.
true prairies, do you think still exist?
I mean,
Like
we can't
10.
really build much on them.
Like
in a lot
10.
of them.
Yeah, like 10, dude. In the whole West, there's probably just like 10 prairies just out there. And I guarantee you they're what I would call mega prairies, where they are owned by 10 different guys and they just own all of the land for 90
They're just
miles in
all
every
owned by
direction.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, no, we've got a serious monopoly problem.
Oh, do you know that Jeff Bezos and Bill Clinton, Bill
Gates.
Gates is
Bill
like buying
Clinton.
all the farmland up?
Yeah, I did hear about that. That's
what
probably
is that all about?
I mean, it's
Well, I
obvious because
know
they're not making any more land,
Jeff
right?
Bezos, yeah. Jeff Bezos is doing it because he wants Amazon to be able to
Produce crops,
sell
I'd
food
imagine.
sell food. And I imagine that would be a lot easier to supply his store with food if he owns all the land the food's being grown on.
Yeah, is that vertical integration where
Something like
you
that,
you take every different step from the process and make sure that you own it?
It's definitely a step in the monopolization process.
Oh, it absolutely fucking is.
Yeah. Well, Amazon is dangerously close to being our only supplier for goods.
Did you see that a judge named Google a monopoly?
I did see
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense,
so what do you
too.
guys think will happen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I disagree. I think the government's getting kind of tired of the tech companies.
I think that they are, but I think that tech companies have a lot more sway over government
I
than
don't
like
disagree
we give them
that
credit
it won't,
for.
it won't take like 20 years to get done, but I think that Google will absolutely get broken up.
I think Google could hack everybody's fucking personal information and blackmail them using whatever they want whenever anybody tries to actually do anything.
Ah, Marjorie, I see you've been looking up some very interesting things.
Is that Miss Taylor Green?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Google has that shit on every human being on the planet. That's that. Did you see the thing where somebody hacked and has everybody in the America's like social security number?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to react to that? How like what? Why did you even tell us that? That's like telling people that a comet is heading towards the planet. Like, people just be like, well, I can't do anything. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, like, what do you do?
What do I do about my social security number? What was it? Iran has all of our social security numbers?
Who knows? Who cares? You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. We can do nothing.
Like,
and Jack Black still sucks.
Like, but it's just stupid because it's like, well, if you look like you're like government, what are you going to do about it? And they're like, we got an election going on.
What could even the government do about it?
They could.
That's even
issue
worse.
New social security cards. I don't know.
Oh God!
Could you
Imagine the process.
What? Imagine the process. I turn the switch on to the printer.
Yeah. No, I mean like getting that out to everybody, and then imagine the people
we have
complaining.
an entire goddamn branch of the government dedicated to that. It's called
I'm not worried about the government. I'm worried about the people.
Postal Service.
Imagine like your sister trying to do something with her social security number, and then she realizes, the government is giving me a new social security number. I know my old one, and she's trying to use her old one everywhere, and the people are like, the fucking world would catch on fire.
Does my sister have dementia? Fucking learn your new code.
People are retarded, dude.
I don't care.
Your sister's retarded. I didn't want to like break it to you this way.
She's a marine biologist. No, she's not. I'm the retarded one, you idiot.
She's a marine biologist and you're a podcaster.
Fucking marine biologist. She's not retarded at all.
Fine. Imagine you getting your new social security number.
Yeah,
and then you
I'd
fucking
be like,
lose
it's 4, 7.
Yeah, they get it's made out of plastic for you.
Because like during COVID, some people got their stimulus payments radically different times from each other.
Yeah.
Some never got them at all because I was working in movie theaters at the time. I was one of the people who were, non-essential personnel. And they didn't want me to go.
How are movies not essential? That don't make any fucking sense.
You can get them at home, Netflix.
Movies are 100% essential.
CDC said that you can get diseases in movies. So
it was one of the worst possible places to go for COVID.
Yeah.
People got to stop sleeping with movies.
God, I miss 24/7 stores. I really, really want.
Give me a handshake. Absolutely.
Me and you.
I really want 24/7
me and
stores
you,
to be back.
the communist and the fucking imperialist, there's something where you and me agree on,
Look,
all right?
Like, I get that it's ripe for abuse, but what I'm saying is that there's 390 million motherfucking Americans. There's too many homeless people to not have 24/7
At
stores.
midnight at a Walmart, 3 people were working in that bitch. Like, fuck it. Who cares? They didn't have anybody working in that thing.
That's
it
what I'm
wasn't,
saying.
Like,
Wait.
for abuse my ass. Like, 3 dudes were in there.
So you're suggesting we should have 24/7 stores so that homeless people have a place to go?
No, what I'm saying is hire these homeless people so they have money so they can get homes or drugs or whatever homeless people want, and let us have 24/7 stores.
Or alcohol, drugs. I don't care what they do with it. Just
let them live their life. I just want my 24/7
they're
store.
already hiring retards for the front door.
Yeah.
Just hire homeless people for the night shift.
Look,
they ain't got nowhere to go.
Look, the store people already don't know what I want. It's not going to be different if they're looking at me and going, aliens want to eat your brains.
And I'd be like, all right, fine,
All right,
dude. I'm going to go sleep behind the dog kennels.
Do you know where the Ritz crackers are?
The aliens know where the Ritz crackers are.
But do you?
No! Well, you're no help at all. The fuck out of my face. Why'd they even hire you? Fucking homeless people. God damn it. This country's going to hell in a handbasket.
Open at 4 a.m.
I think you forget that a lot of homeless people are homeless because there's something like severely wrong with them. And I'm not
that's
saying
why Walmart needs to hire them.
Yeah.
So this is Walmart's problem, and Walmart needs to fix this. This definitely
Big
isn't a
corporations
medical or
should
government
hire
related problem.
people, and then they should fix the country. They're the ones who are making it bad. They should fix it.
Let's put all that on the corporation's shoulders, because God knows we want them to be in charge of fixing our problems here.
They're already, Eric, they're already putting themselves in charge. If they're going to be in charge, just fucking do something about it. All I'm saying
I'm
is...
just saying they're the ones making the problem.
Did you see that Trump said that he wants private companies to own prisons?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Trump, I don't want to go to the McDonald's fucking parchment. I don't want to, like, imagine.
You will be flipping burgers.
Exactly. I'm going to be in the Amazon Wish Fulfillment Prison Center and
in the wage cage.
Exactly. Like the literal wage cage. Me and my bunkmate going to be in there fucking packing boxes for Amazon. That
Finally,
sounds
McDonald's
hellish.
found a way to not have to pay someone a living wage.
Exactly. That's 100% what it is. Everybody knows it.
Did you see that RFK?
How could you ever be in, like, yes, I did. And everybody's disappointed and angry with him.
Did you see that, like, the people, that when he was doing his speech, that almost every news thing cut away from him, like, mid-speech?
Not really fucking surprised.
Yeah, sorry, that didn't turn out too well for you.
Dropped out and endorsed Trump, which made me just be like...
And everyone just went, yeah, we already knew you were a spoiler candidate.
Yeah, for sure.
And weirdly, you failed at that. You failure of a human.
I agreed with him on,
like, the people you wanted to win. You idiot.
I'm probably voting for Jill Stein or Cornel West now.
Yeah, I like Cornel.
I like Cornel. Cornel's good. He's a smart man.
I don't get what everyone likes about Jill Stein.
Jill Stein's she's just Cornel West light. And she's like very anti-war at the moment. She's always been anti-war.
Oh, you know what? I don't like that she doesn't support Ukraine.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I don't like that. I do. I agree that I think the U.S. should pull back its like involvement with things around the world. But there are two places in the world that I think America should be involved in because it only protects Americans. Sending weapons and supply to Ukraine objectively protects American soldiers.
Sure.
And then the Asian theater, I don't think we should give an inch on.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Taiwan, Korea, Japan, the Philippines, all those regions. I don't think we should give an inch on.
Well, we can't.
I guess influence.
You literally can't. I mean, like, if we're gonna be imperialist, you can either be imperialist or not imperialist. But if you're gonna be imperialist, you got to go all the way imperialist. Otherwise, you'll just incite war.
I agree. U.S. should stop being an imperialist completely. But I think we should keep to our treaties. I do think we should keep to the treaties we've made, like protecting Taiwan, protecting Korea,
the imperialism.
You know, just like make them not necessarily states, but like or territories.
Puerto Rico and stuff.
Allies.
But like, allies.
Yeah,
they fall under our nuclear umbrella.
Basically that.
You know,
it's like we should keep our allies. I don't disagree with that, but I do think we should stop. For example, we should stop trying to deal with the Middle East. Fuck them. Fuck all of the Middle East. I'm tired of the desert. I'm tired of sand.
I'm telling you, boy, why don't we just go ahead and nuke them and call it a day? We could just glass Iraq and it'd be all over.
I think we should not get involved in Africa at all. Let Africa deal with Africa's problems.
I don't think that'll ever happen because Russia and China would just take it over.
I think we should be done with South America. We have ruined them.
I don't think that'll ever happen either. We rely on them too much.
Too profitable.
Yeah.
We should stop blockading Cuba.
I agree with that one. I think the
Cuba
Cuba
thing.
thing's
Stop for a little while and then do it again.
Yeah, like under Obama, and then Trump brought it back.
Yeah. Because it's an old fucking hat, dude. It's like a thing where it was like, yeah, you remember when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened? Until everybody who remembers the Cuban Missile Crisis is dead, they will continuously blockade Cuba. It's just gonna happen.
But yeah, but I think we should send weapons to supply to Ukraine because objectively, that is keeping Russia from attacking NATO countries, and then 2, it is using a lot of Russian supply that they're wasting on this war. 3, you should help democracies if you can.
Generally,
yeah.
Even ones we installed ourselves.
Yeah.
Which we definitely did. There's not really any arguing that...
like all that support we threw behind Iraq after installing that Saddam
exactly. guy. I mean, if Russia invaded Iraq immediately afterwards, I guess that would have been like the wet dream of the Bush administration.
I don't think
like,
it's
oh, hell yeah.
possible for us to be like completely isolationist anymore.
No, you can't do it with a global economy.
Yeah, we're part of a global community with a global economy now.
Yeah, but I do think we should stop things like exploiting Africa, exploiting the Middle East, which we're not exploiting the Middle East. The problem with the Middle East is that we keep trying to step out of the Middle East, and then Israel or whoever just grabs a hold of our belt and pulls us right back in.
The weird thing for me is that even no matter what political candidate it is, at most I've found that I agree with 4 out of 5 things they say. Like, there's always that 1 out of 5 things where I'm like, I don't agree.
Sure.
And then with Trump, it's like, I agree with half of what he says. Maybe a little bit less than half of what he says.
I mean, that's my biggest problem with modern politics in general is I don't have a candidate that represents what I believe.
Yeah, not truly. You're
'cause-
making concessions no matter what. You're
Yeah.
always making concessions.
Yeah,
Do I
like,
vote
if
for
you
the
vote
gay-
for Harris, you're voting like in favor of genocide.
Yeah.
You know,
see?
if you believe in the genocide.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean Israel?
Yeah,
And
the
Palestine?
Gaza thing.
Yeah, the
Oh,
thing that
well,
South
Hell,
Africa
if you vote
approved.
for Trump, you're voting for genocide.
Yeah,
It's true.
like
I mean,
that's
no matter
It's
what.
true.
not really sure why you're making a distinction there. Just American
Well, it's because like
politicians are going
Harris and
towards
Biden
it.
has been catching the most for it since they're the current ones in power, and they could just stop sending weapons to Israel.
Sure. I guarantee
Yeah.
you Trump would do the same
Yeah, I
thing.
was about to say,
Oh
I
no,
know.
it is guaranteed because Trump's already
Guaranteed.
been in phone calls with Netanyahu, telling him not to make a deal with.
I heard, because it
With,
would make Harris look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
That was a big thing about Jill Stein was that she was like, that's the one thing she wants to do. She wants to, she thinks that, and she's right, she thinks that Democrats and Republicans are working as a war economy institution.
Mhm.
And she wants to stop the United States government from being funded and using the war economy to gain power
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
influence.
Another thing with the Ukraine thing, also we signed a treaty that we told them we would help them because we took the nukes away from them.
It's true. And Russia said they wouldn't attack them because
Yeah.
they took the nukes away from them.
So I feel like we're obligated to help Ukraine anyways.
For sure. If nothing else, even if we didn't, Ukraine would like spit on our names for the next 100 years for
Yeah.
not helping them because we literally said we would.
Well, that's how the system of alliances is supposed to work. That's why World War I and II happened.
It'd be
Is-
like Japan.
Did you see that we're sending them F-16s now?
Yeah, I saw they flew an F-16 over Ukraine and then everybody got spooked because F-16's scary. There were people
Wow.
filming on their phone, just being like, "There's
I mean, if
fucking
you don't know
F-16s
anything
over our
about
house."
modern aviation, yeah, F-16 scary.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're-
guess.
they're pretty-
I guess 20-year-old plane scary.
Yeah, for real.
Try
Plane that was good in the 90s, scary.
40-year-old plane.
Yeah,
Ooh, is the
for-
F-16 that old?
Dude,
Yeah, F-16's from like the 80s, man.
a lot of the
Jesus.
shit that we've sent to Ukraine is
Military
fuck old
surplus.
in terms of military shit.
I
Yep.
mean, that's the only way we can make it look like we're not playing our full hand,
It's
right?
not even that. It's just that Russia actually sucks that much that 40-year-old military equipment is all we
I
need.
still can't believe that they don't have a navy anymore. That's
Well, they
so-
have a navy. They had to move it away from the Black Sea.
Do they still have a navy? They don't have an
They-
aircraft carrier. They have one.
They have one aircraft carrier.
That's
but
nuts.
They've now Ukraine has sunk like I think 3 or 4 ships off the Black Sea that they had to they've had to move that fleet.
Do they have another aircraft carrier in the Pacific? Do they have
I think
more?
I think they either have one that's broken down in the Pacific. They only have one.
Well, let's put it this
So
way. We have
sad.
like 10 or
It's
12
like diesel
aircraft
too. It's
carriers.
not even nuclear.
Yeah, like we have like 10 or 12
Say
aircraft
diesel?
carriers.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you say diesel?
Yeah, it's
It runs
diesel.
on diesel.
It's diesel, yeah.
Yes. What'd you
Why?
think? Because ship
Because they
engines
don't
run
know
on
how to
diesel.
build. Well,
Well,
one.
yeah, but like
Okay,
your
well, here's-
modern nuclear submarine, for example, doesn't run on
Hold
diesel.
on.
You know.
Let me take you on
No,
a small,
that
like,
runs off
summed
of
up history
nuclear
of the ship. It started being built. So funnily enough, it started with the Ukrainians building the ship when it was back when they were part of the Soviet Union.
Can I go steal a drink from you real quick?
Yeah, get some
Then
coffee if you want.
the so-
Make
might.
coffee.
By the time that the Soviet Union broke up, the ship was still being built.
Okay.
It got moved in the deal, like how you remember how Ukraine got all the Crimea bases and
Yeah,
stuff.
the New Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got moved to the Pacific where they continued to build it.
Okay.
And because Russia kind of sucks and they don't know how to build ships really, they made it like a diesel ship, and it breaks
Jesus.
down all the time.
What and American aircraft characters run on? Probably nuclear power.
Yeah, nuclear reactors.
Nuclear reactors just seem like that's another thing I really don't. I feel like that's one thing I don't agree with Cornel West on. I think he doesn't support nuclear
Yeah.
energy, and I'm like, bro,
But
it's
I mean,
so good.
So, I think we should just go all in on like the power, like solar power, wind power.
Yeah. Did you see what Trump said about wind power? He said,
You have a lot of dead birds.
Yeah.
I walk by these windmills and there's dead birds littering everywhere around.
He called it an unproven technology.
It's so stupid. California.
Wind? Trump? Wind.
Yeah.
Wind and unproven
Did you know California
technology.
is like 80%, 85% run on like renewable energy now?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's like 80, 90% of desert, right? Like, isn't most of California just a
I don't
fucking...
know. No, it's a lot of farmland, isn't it? It's
Is-
like one
no,
of,
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
no,
it's
I'm
one of the
thinking of
most,
Arizona.
Yeah, it's one of the most fertile lands in America because that's where we get all our farm shit from. Did you know most of our product comes from California?
I wouldn't be that. Yeah, I did know
Or
GDP.
produce.
Our GDP comes from California and New York, too. Like,
Yeah.
California and New York are like... I swear to God, if like the United States split in Civil War, it would be who supports New York, who supports California.
Yeah.
That would just be how it would go. And Texas would try to remain independent, and then they would mildly succeed until their energy
Have you
ran
seen?
out.
There's a hurricane apparently happening right now.
Really? We're
Yeah.
at
Off the, coast.
the Gulf Coast?
Yeah. No, it's not off the Gulf Coast, off the Atlantic.
At the Atlantic Coast?
Yeah.
Isn't that where none of them happen?
No, they all happen on the Atlantic.
Is that what?
You're
Wait, is
thinking
the
of the
Atlantic
Pacific.
Is the Atlantic the one with Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You're
So it's
thinking
gonna
of
hit
the,
like
the Pacific.
so it's gonna hit like the East Coast.
Yes.
How do people in Florida cope with the fact that you just know you're gonna get hit by a hurricane like
They
every
usually
fucking
just
year?
lock their doors and then see
Yeah, it seems like it would suck though.
a guy in Florida won like the lottery.
Oh, dude, really?
Yeah, lucky guy.
I've been thinking about playing the Powerball recently.
No, that's just poor people taxes.
Yeah, I know, but I've been thinking about doing it
Why?
just because I've never done it before.
You
I've never
just-
once played the Powerball. I've done scratch off lottery tickets,
Well, as
but
long
I've
as
never
you
done
do
the
it
Powerball.
once.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it more than once, but I really want to just see how it works.
See if you've built up enough luck over the years.
Exactly.
To where this one go will get you.
Yeah, exactly. Buy
I keep-
one lottery ticket.
I keep running through the news and like a lot of headlines are like Robert Kennedy's like brothers and nephews and nieces and stuff are like, don't listen to him.
Yeah, well, that's because they were Democrats. They're like
Yeah,
party
I think-
Democrats.
I think all of them are like
Yeah,
Democrats. A lot
they're
of them.
all hardcore party Democrats. So like anything that he says that's non-Democrat.
Seems like a lot of them are very. Imagine being RFK Jr. right now and just like your entire family is like, what the fuck, guy?
Yeah, I would be.
Did you hear that story about him like leaving a dead bear in Central Park?
Yeah, that's pretty base though, honestly, in my opinion. That's funny as
No,
shit.
He
What?
tortured a little bear.
He
and
didn't
left
torture a bear. The
He
bear was
did.
dead.
He tortured that
No,
bear.
the bear was dead.
He told the best version of that story he thought he could get away with. That meant the bear was found with
You think
cut-
that the man who admitted to leaving a bear in Central Park told the best version of the story? It
he
sounds
said
like he's
a
being...
drunk van hit the bear.
Yeah.
How is that?
I don't
fucking
know.
Possible.
If he was going to say anything, it would be better if he just said nothing at all.
Yeah, it would have been.
So if he's going to say it, he might as well just tell the truth, which I
No,
think
he
he's
lied
doing.
completely.
I don't know. I think he's telling the truth.
What happened was RFK.
I haven't heard
Okay,
about this.
so what allegedly happened?
If you're in Central Park, would you rather run into RFK or a bear?
allegedly, this is what happened. I'm going to tell my version, and you can just keep it.
Just say what he said.
No.
Okay.
All right. So RFK was drunk driving in Central Park allegedly, and he hit a baby bear.
Gross.
Don't know why a baby bear was in Central Park. No one knows why. Then,
I bet I know.
So he gets out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep this bear and skin it later." And so he puts it in the trunk of his car, and he drives off. He goes to like a party. He stays there for like hours, forgetting about the bear in his trunk.
The dead bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I am having, and he's like, I'm having. How does he sound? He's like, and it's like weird voice inflections. Yeah.
He sounds like a ghoul from
What
Fallout.
did he say?
He does.
I didn't
does.
understand.
He's like,
through
I'm
electro.
having such a good time. I wish I could be here forever, but I got a flight in the morning. So he goes, he leaves, and he realizes he still has this dead bear in his trunk.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh no, I don't know what to do. So his quote unquote drunk friends told him, let's dump it in Central Park and make it look like a biker hit it.
Which is funny as shit. That's a good bit.
Luckily for RFK, he happened to have his bicycle on him. So they went to Central Park and dumped this bear and made it look like a biker hit it, which is what the New York City like newspapers printed.
Yeah, which
This
is a good bit.
This bear cub found in Central Park, hit by a biker. No one else found at the scene. But the problem is the bear was found with cuts and bruises all over it.
Yeah.
RFK tortured a baby bear and then dumped it in Central Park.
I am wondering where the baby bear came from.
He's a rich
Bought it.
he's a rich asshole. He probably just went to some exotic pet shop that he knew about because he's a rich fuck. Bought a baby bear, tortured it, tried to stabbed it because he's some weird rich sicko, and then
Maybe the brain parasite told him to do it.
got drunk, dumped it, and then like when he came back later, he found out that ABC was going to run a story about him dumping a bear in New York because that's why he told that story.
And then he went on damage control.
Was the news found out about it? They were about to come out with the story.
He wanted to be ahead of the narrative.
Yeah, and he was getting ahead of the narrative, so he's telling the best possible thing he could say.
Then why would he admit to being drunk or
He
like
didn't
just leaving it
admit
in
to
general?
being drunk. What he said was like, I saw a drunk person hit the bear with a van.
Here's what he said.
My drunk friend suggested this.
He says he was heading to a falconry excursion with a friend when a woman driving ahead of him hit and killed the young bear with her vehicle. He says he put it in his own vehicle intending to skin it and eat the meat, but the day got away from him. Eventually, he says he was in Manhattan and needed to get the bear carcass out of his vehicle. His friends, fueled by alcohol, concocted the Central Park plan as a prank, he said, adding that he was not drunk himself. At the time, bicycle accidents were getting significant media attention, so Kennedy and his friends thought it would be funny to make it look like the bear was hit by a bicycle.
That news article is a little kinder than how he actually made
That's
it sound.
AP News.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm saying that makes it sound a little kinder because like listening to him, it makes it sound like he hit it in New York.
Well, have you heard the way he talks?
Or like New York City,
No
specifically.
matter what he says, it sounds awful.
It does.
Yeah.
Two women walking their dogs found the dead bear and alerted authorities, touching off the mystery that captivated the city for a few days. Bear are not among the park's known wildlife population.
If he hit the bear outside of New York City, that's a little better. It's still bad, but it's a tiny bit more believable.
Having done a lot of euthanasias, even though I was at a no-kill shelter.
I still want to know why I was found with cuts.
I gotta admit, I am not a big fan of playing with corpses for fun, even amongst animals. If you're fucking with it after you've killed it, you better be butchering it to eat later and nothing else. You can get leather. Unless you're processing it, I don't abide by people just playing with dead bodies.
The only
even
acceptable
of, like,
thing is a fish that you may go bloop, 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 bloop before you throw it back in the water.
Yeah, but he's
Patrick,
not even
put up
dead.
a visual representation of the fish.
Yes.
Hey, I know that fish.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, you know, it's the one from Sword.
There was an error with the podcasting equipment here. Patrick goes back to talking about the RFK bear situation.
Carcass of animal that is not generally in this environment, in an environment to confuse people. I'm a big fan of that as a prank. That's a pretty good prank. People be like,
Patrick into his 1800 pranks.
just why the fuck is there a bear in Central Park? You know, it's just such a like, it just immediately bewilders authorities and media alike. So in my opinion, it's a pretty good bit. As far as like, is it moral or ethical? I mean, as long as it was dead and you know, as long as it was fucking dead and you didn't just leave it there to die and bleeding out or something. Because I mean, like, what is he gonna do with the corpse?
Said he was gonna eat it.
Yeah, I know he could, but I mean, also, you really gonna skin and eat a bear?
Did you know,
Kennedy.
fun fact,
Why
you
not?
get brain worms from bear meat.
I wonder.
You can.
Maybe
You have
got
to
a
be
little
careful with what types of bears you kill and how you prepare the meat and what cuts you decide to eat because they can have a lot of parasites for sure.
By the way, did you guys see that that they've decided to go with a different spacecraft to get the...
Oh yeah, SpaceX
the
is going to be getting the
astronauts
kids out of fucking
Yeah.
space.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
You knew that they were going to do the fucking Boeing thing.
I
I
Wait,
bet
what is
Boeing
going
stopped-
on here? I'm not
I
sure
just
I'm
thought it would
familiar
take
enough
longer.
with this. Explain what you're talking about here.
So there are two astronauts stuck on the International Space Station right now, taken up there by a Boeing Starliner.
Mm-hmm.
But the Starliner has issues, and it cannot take the astronauts back down to Earth. It can't make re-entry. Well, it can't make it safely with the astronauts. Boeing has been saying it's fine. It can come down at any time.
Just like all their
And
other
the U.S.
planes that are
government
falling
has been
apart.
behind them going, yes, 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 darling, yes.
Mhm.
It's been like, what, 8 months,
2 months, 3
9
months,
8 or 9 months.
It's
Aren't
been
the
months.
supplies up there very specific to like the amount of time and
they
stuff?
can get them. They resupply all the time. They have
so
the technology to do that.
They're not in threat of under threat of imminent
biggest
death.
problem
No, they're just
is
stuck.
the biggest problem is that most astronaut missions are 6 months, and that's to avoid muscle atrophy and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. They've been up there for like 8 or 9 months now.
Yeah. At that point, they should just live there.
Yeah. So the issue is now like their health being in the void for so long. So they've decided now that they're going to be using the Dragonfly space liner. Or
Please
spacecraft.
tell me you're right about that.
I think it's called the Dragonfly.
The Spyro entered the
It looks like a
Dragonfly.
big dick to me, honestly.
It does look like a big
Like
dick.
it looks like a giant dildo.
A
Does
lot
it
of
look like
rockets do.
Spyro's big dick?
It does look like Spyro's big
Oh
dick.
yeah, from that video.
Patrick, put up a picture of Spyro's big dick.
Don't do it.
He's gonna.
SpaceX Dragonfly.
But
Yeah,
now
it looks like a big dick.
now SpaceX is going to get him down.
It looks like the head of a dick.
I mean, on one hand, Boeing has been, reputation-wise, been tanking recently. SpaceX never had a great reputation, so I'm really not sure where to go with this. Because
It looks like a tiny dick. Looks like
That's
a chode.
the pod. Look it up with like the full boosters and everything.
Yeah, that's
I
the-
understand it's a grower, not a shower.
that's the
Yeah,
head of
yeah.
the penis.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
let him like fill up the shaft.
It's a little cold right now.
Yeah.
You just got out of the
It's
pool.
cold in the vacuum of space. You wouldn't understand.
Right. When it's on, when it's on the landing pad, it looks pretty good.
Did you know
but,
space smells like steak? According
Apparently
to
so. but
astronauts.
That's not the space, though. It's the inside of your nose burning. Yeah, it's not actually space that smells like steak. It's the inside of your own nose boiling that smells like steak.
tasty.
Yeah, exactly. If you can smell steak in space, you're probably like 3 seconds from dying.
It's kind of
show
like
that
how
again.
mustard
Sorry, I wasn't
gas.
even looking at it.
What?
Picture-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just it's a very thin boy. It's like pencil dick. It doesn't look anything like Spyro's now that I think about it. It looks more like Jack Black's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was like what was I saying? Like, what was it? Not Agent Orange. What's that other one? Shit, it was right on the top of my fucking head.
I don't know. What, MK Ultra?
Agent Smith.
No. The nerve gases they used during like World War II. Mustard gas.
Yeah.
They said that mustard gas smelled like, mustard, but no one actually knows.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's the thing is in order to, once you've smelled mustard, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, of course.
There's a certain thing where it's like, well, it might not, but at the end of the day,
No one wants to find out.
Yeah, there's no
Do you
way to
guys
know
ever
without
want to
killing
just,
yourself.
like, know what lava might taste like?
I've always
It's
wanted to.
rocks. Go outside and lick a rock.
Oh, but it's liquid.
It's got to taste different.
Yeah, it's gotta. It's
gotta
liquid.
taste
It's a
Burn
liquid.
it tastes like your tongue's burning off.
Yeah, but if you could survive it.
No, dude, if you could survive it, who wants to like bathe in it? Who wants to just like let lava just
yeah.
like pour over
I
you?
bet that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that
but
would
then
feel
if
so
you
good.
accidentally fall asleep and take a nap, you might wake up in solid rock.
the Sun Wukong treatment.
Yeah,
Yep.
for real. That would be so comfortable.
Are you guys
though.
gonna play that new Sun Wukong game?
Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah.
I'm not paying that much money for that.
I'll wait
I'm
till it's
not.
on sale.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's on sale. I'm not paying $70 for Dark Souls again.
I'm not paying $70 for any game. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
for real.
I ain't got the money.
It's games are just starting to be $70 now though. That's just becoming more regular.
Yeah.
Just becoming normalized.
I mean, in a way, that should have been a thing already to
No.
a certain
In a way,
extent,
for sure.
but, like, well, it's the thing is like game companies are unrealistic about how much they want to pay their employees, how much they want their prices to be, blah 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 blah, and they haven't been evolving with the times.
I completely disagree
the same
because
way.
microtransactions are involvement with the times. Live services are involvement with the times.
Mm-hmm. But people hate those. Would you
Battle
rather
passes
pay?
are involvement, but
Would
it
you
is
rather play
proving that-
$10 more for one whole game, or pay $30 for a game that's going to nickel and dime you for the rest of your life?
That's a completely unrealistic scenario because you're still going to pay $70 and have microtransactions in the game regardless.
Yeah, if you're playing
It's-
Battlefront
it's
2.
not. It's not like they're not going to have the microtransactions. You're being completely unrealistic.
Will, how much do you think a jar of peanut butter costs?
$20.
You would be correct. So why do you think that a video game should still cost $60?
Because they already use every other money-grubbing piece of shit parasitic tactic to take my
Black
money to
Wukong?
begin with.
You think Black Myth Wukong's going to be...
I
not
don't
a
know. I don't know
Chinese
that
company,
studio.
Will. You think a Chinese
No, never
company...
mind, dude.
You know,
they absolutely will do everything they can to fucking grab
a
my
Chinese
wallet.
company would never
God
do that,
damn.
Will.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they don't have like the gotcha system of fucking
I'm sure they
cute,
do.
Can you get the cute Sun Wukong girl?
Yes, I'm sure. Dude, I bought... I'm not even joking. I bought a fucking jar of peanut butter fucking Friday, and it was $7.50.
Did you buy a big jar or a little jar?
Little jar.
The big jars are kind of like $14.
Fucking... Why?
Everything
$7?
else has gone up in
Well,
price
because
by like a whole like
the
unit of
100%.
magnitude.
Well, the
Yeah.
issue is like
but
they found
so
out
why are games supposed to only be $60 still?
again. The issue is like you said, they don't pay like their devs and stuff like that. But the problem is that they don't. They still don't if they make that like they increase the price. They're still not going to pay their devs. They're just going to increase the price for their shareholders and their CEOs. Now the reason they shouldn't be $70 is because they already use every other money grubbing tactic in effort to make line go up.
So your argument is that the peanut butter doesn't have microtransactions.
Now, the thing with the groceries is that the FTC has come out with a report saying that grocery stores and stuff like that have been absolute like Kellogg, sorry, not grocery stores, grocery chains,
grocery companies.
Kellogg
providers,
and
people-
Nestle and all those kind of people.
The
Nestle.
suppliers.
Yeah, Nestle,
Suppliers.
You said Nestle, but
whatever, have been artificially keeping their prices at like pandemic levels and stuff like that.
Of course they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which is
'Cause-
one of the big reasons, like the Democrats right now are saying we want price control.
Yes. Yeah. Which I wonder if that will... I really wonder if that will work or if they will just find a way around it.
I'll
'Cause
find a way around it, even
I'm-
if we get Harris.
Well, that's what
I'm
the
of
government's
the
for.
opinion. I am
is
of
to
the opinion
do stuff
that
like that, and then when they do find a way around it, to
you do it again.
basically be like, hey, stop doing that. You're going to follow the spirit of this law, you stupid fuck.
Yeah. That, I mean, in a non-capitalist
Follow the
country,
money
I'd
and
agree
see
with
where
you.
it goes.
Yeah.
You know,
I would agree with you in a non-capitalist country, but I think in America, with our capitalist society, that it's inherent that the business comes before the government.
Well, it
Well,
goes back to what he was saying a second ago. If it was a trade-off and you could pay $70 for a standalone game as opposed to playing 30 with microtransactions, then he wouldn't have a problem.
I
with
would
it.
not have a problem.
Yeah, if they
with
don't
it.
You
shit
know-
all over you for the $70 game,
But like, you know,
And it's like
so-
an actual complete game.
it's got to be a good game.
I think what
it's
me-
got to be a game that works.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, like what me and
Yeah,
Patrick were thinking earlier when we were having this argument was basically, no, they should just put the whole price of the game in the upfront area. Because I'd pay $80 for a game as long as I knew that it had everything it needed to have in it, and
And-
then they weren't going to try and nickel and dime me after the fact.
And that's another thing is like prices are so ridiculous right now. $70. Like, okay, we were having this conversation, 5-10 years ago about $70 per
Mhm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, it's $60, $70 wasn't that hard to come by, to be honest with you. $7 is a fucking commitment.
$70 is a fucking. It's
So-
a
Yeah,
real
now money
price.
is
I'm not-
worth less, but
not
I'm making the
committing
same.
I'm not
Yes.
committing $70, for example, to a Blizzard game where I know the story is not going to be good. I know that like they're going to try to screw me out of my money. I know they didn't put any effort into actually like any artistry effort
Mhm.
into like what they're making. It is a soulless, corporate driven. Like the Fallout series is another good example.
Valve's the only company
Even-
I trust with that.
Even
now.
when it's like a single player game like Fallout, it all like all these big name corporations who want their $70, it all feels like a soulless, non-artistic, like clean cut. This is for the masses and everyone could enjoy this.
What about
video,
Ching
everyone
Chong
could enjoy
Wukong,
it.
Will?
I
Bethesda
don't know that
has
one. I don't know enough about it to say that.
Remember, Bethesda has the Creation Club nowadays, so they can't, even though it's not the same as normal, they don't call
guess-
it microtransactions.
I guess my
but
issue
it's
is like big
microtransactions.
corporations want $70, but they don't want to put any artistry behind it to make it feel like it should be worth it.
It's because
Yeah.
the video game industry is bigger than the movie industry now. It's such a large industry that people will do absolutely anything to make line go up in video games.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
is
and I
true.
agree with Stephanie Sterling when she says this. The video game industry is the testing ground for the they're the
For the
they're
rest of the entertainment industry.
and the tech industry.
Ah, yes, that too, for sure.
Because you can gamify. If you
That's not
gamify
even that
something,
bad,
people
though.
are like distracted by it. you make something entertaining and like gamify, then people will be distracted and not even realize you're leeching the $15 right out of their pocket.
Yeah.
It's
we crave
games-
distractions.
Yeah, games and distraction are inherently
Bread
like
and circus.
cruel. Well, from a business standpoint, they're inherently cruel. And I don't think that was the case with the first Mario.
No,
But
I
the
feel,
moment it became Mario versus Sonic,
What do you think what was the last year where the majority of games were artistic, like,
not even cruel.
were like,
What's the word I'm looking for?
what was the last year you think where like the majority of games were like an artist is putting something out there
2003.
Versus like,
Yeah, it was
this
the
is some
mid-2000s.
soulless corporate driven cash cow thing.
Back when like
2003.
back when like it was the Xbox, GameCube, PS2 era.
And Xbox was definitely the one that was leaning the hardest into trying to leech money out of you at the time.
They were the most machine, like, you know.
Is it okay that Nintendo does the small things that they do, like with their like eShop and that kind of stuff, and then making you pay for online, considering that the rest of the companies that they are going up against are way worse about it?
I think Nintendo is just as bad, and what they get away with is that
Amiibos.
no, what they get away with is that they don't do it to the nth degree like Microsoft and Sony.
It's true.
So they get to get away with the I'm the good boy though.
How did they get away with Amiibos? How do you get away with that?
Because
they
they're
appeal
seen
to-
as they're not seen because majority of parents and stuff like your parents, my parents and stuff, you know, and like I guess like older millennials basically don't see Nintendo as a gaming company. They see it as a toy company.
Yeah, it's for kids.
It's true.
The idea is this is supposed to appeal to kids. Adults can like it too, but adult video games would be PC, Xbox, and PlayStation
like-
because they're the ones with all
that's
the more
mature
mature
shit.
themes.
So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like Disney adults, you know, like
Yes.
if you're into Nintendo games and you're 40, you're seen as a weirdo.
A little
Nintendo is
bit.
the Disney of video games.
Like, or at least you're seen as like soft.
Yeah, like you can, like, if you're 40 years old and you spend 4 or 5 hours a day on Animal Crossing every day, other gamers are not
like,
going to
I'm not gonna
respect
think-
you.
Just fucking
I'm not
kill
gonna think
them.
of you as a
just,
weird-
seriously,
like-
just kill
Look,
them.
it-
Take
it-
them
look-
out back, three to
I'm
the
not
back
gonna,
of the
I'm
head.
not going to think Chuck Conroy is like a weirdo for playing a bunch of Nintendo games, but I am going to think Chuck Conroy is probably like a soft guy. Like he probably has soft hands.
Yeah, he uses lotion regularly.
Do you want to get touched by Chugga Conroy's soft hands?
I get a
You think
massage from Chugga.
He's got a nice voice. He could talk
I
to you
hope
the whole time
Chugga.
about
I
it.
hope Chugga doesn't ever get anything like big controversial. That would be heartbreaking.
That would be sad.
That'd
Can we
be-
get him on the
that'd be
show?
Actually heartbreaking.
Could we
I don't think-
can we get him on the show
I
and have
would
it be
love to-
controversial?
I would love to talk to Chugga Conroy.
We'll ask
I
him
don't
about
think
the
he'd
Israel
ever be
versus
on this show,
Palestine.
though. I don't think he'd ever be on the show.
Yeah, it would take him very little research to realize that probably wouldn't be good for his brand.
His brand is being relaxing. That is Chugga Conroy's entire brand. It's
Could
playing,
Chugga Conroy relax us?
Yeah, definitely. He'd just play Pikmin in front of me and I would veg out hard.
That dude for the Quest 64 thing was really chill, and we are not on his brand at all.
No, he's chill though. He's chill as hell.
He just didn't care.
Yeah.
It's not like we baited him into saying anything like crazy or anything either.
No, if
He just
anybody, if
chit-chat
we
with
baited
us.
anyone, we baited Maxor by asking him about the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Oh, God.
That is the only time we've ever had somebody on the show, and then I jokingly asked them where they stood on Israel-Palestine, and then Max was like, "You know what? I do have some feelings on that."
Oh, Lord.
Then he went into it. I didn't expect that, but Max is just that kind of guy,
It's
I guess.
fun whenever you say a jokey question and someone like answers it very seriously.
Yeah, well,
Like, where were you during 9/11?
with your mom.
In the towers? Because my mom died on 9/11.
No, I was in the plane. Your mom was in the towers. We were together for a brief moment.
It's funny because if you visualize it, the labia looks like two towers.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here comes the airplane.
Imagine the sex talking that, Mr. President, another airplane has hit the towers.
Can we get?
When
can
I get done hitting this the third time, you won't be able to stand anymore.
call that shit ground zero.
God damn.
Can I please get a picture of a woman who gets the Twin Towers tattooed right above her pussy, and then a
God,
guy
can
with
we-
a plane tattooed on his dick?
Oh,
How
my
much
God.
would it cost to find a not safe for work AI generator?
Well, it's that they're free. I've got one.
We should see if we
Oh,
can
really?
AI generate that.
Okay, what do you want to AI generate
A woman's vagina with
with the Twin Towers? Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Patrick, go ahead and do that. Feed that into Stable Diffusion. See what you get out of that. Maybe.
No way.
I mean, I can't put it up on the screen anyways.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, censor it like you did Bambi.
There's no way it can even be censored.
I put the
Because
Bambi
the idea
picture.
is that the labia is the twin towers.
Yeah. Patrick, put up the
You
picture of
remember
Bambi.
biology, yeah?
I know. I'm just
Now hit the
thinking
picture of
maybe
Bambi
you
with the
just
plane.
Get just the edges. I don't know. That'd be difficult.
Well, it'd be like
Right.
the lips, right? I guess. Like,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
two
Yeah,
lips.
yeah, it would be the two lips, and then the plane would go through them and then part them. Has anyone, oh my God, has anyone tattooed waves on their pussy and then like had some dude with like tattooed his dick to look like Moses parting
Okay,
the
you know
Red
what?
Sea?
I feel like we're on this on the precipice, on the stomping ground of a new
You gotta do it while she's on her period.
kind of art style, like a new wave of
Yeah, of course.
artistry.
I've been telling you that for 5 years. You haven't been listening
Gosh,
to me.
how much do you think it would cost to pay two people, like two models, to one have the
Let's just paint them. Just paint. Like, I don't even need the tattoo. Just put paint over them.
Oh, an artificial
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Just artificial tattoo. Just
How much do you think that would cost?
$3,000.
There's got to be a huge market in like the
It's one photo.
Adult.
Porn actors don't give a shit.
Yeah, like the adult parody porn thing,
we
Yeah.
should, huh? We
like
should
Lord of
maybe
the
do that. I don't know.
G-strings, or
Hey, we could do it ourselves. I'll put waves on my ass, and we'll get Eric's dick. We'll make him look like Moses.
That's
that'll
genius.
probably work.
Yeah, we can pour red Jello
Would we do
or
just
ketchup
like
into my
we
asshole.
would just put like could we like
No,
paint,
don't worry. I can simulate that part.
Okay.
We
It'll
should
be
paint
okay.
your ass like a hot dog bun.
See, there's so many.
Yeah.
There's tons of good ideas here. That's all that's important.
Yeah, it's all right there.
And the Democrats nor the Republicans are saying shit about this.
Well, the
and,
Republicans want to ban it,
yeah, and the Democrats want everybody to be painting their ass like hot dog buns.
and that's why we should all vote Democrat.
Vote blue. You can paint your ass like a hot dog bun. Like, I didn't realize I couldn't paint my ass like a hot dog bun.
Well,
How
if
out
you're a Republican, you sure won't be able to.
How out of touch do you guys feel with teenagers?
Pretty
these
out of
days?
touch generally.
Like-
I mean, I know like I'm terminally online just enough to be like aware of teenagers, but I think I purposefully like ignore 99% of the content that like is either directly addressing them or is for them.
I don't think
you
I
know?
watch anything like modern teenagers watch or do or even like are
My niece,
Around.
like 2 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever, brought up Sally Face.
the
It
fuck.
wa- It's a video game. It's a
Sally
video-
face.
Yeah, none of us know what it is, right?
Oh
No.
wait, is that the one where like the girl is like really brutal with it's like a little girl and she like says a very off the wall shit.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just like it's like a half horror game narrative side scroller thing. And apparently all of her friends and like all the teenagers were playing it, and I was like, this is a video game I've never heard of, right? Like and I consider myself pretty fucking versed in video games, even like the shitty ones that teenagers are playing, like Among Us and shit.
Yeah.
Children, that's the weird part. Children, I feel pretty like in tune with what children are playing. Because children
Roblox, Minecraft.
yeah, children's entertainment has become a thing where it's like, okay, if you're a parent and we are parent age, then you have to know what it is that children are playing. Once they become 13, 14, 15, 16, I have no idea what they're doing because there's
I
no
just
like
kind of assume
oversight.
it's like League of Legends.
Yeah, it's
Like,
something-
I'll be honest, if I had a kid right now, I'd be like, "You playing League of Legends?
Are
son?"
you winning, son? Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
be that guy.
God, I don't know, because teenagers kind of, those guys are going to be making their own thing soon, and they're being their own weirdest versions of their individual selves.
Of course.
that
Like, yeah,
haven't
do you remember
discovered-
you at 14?
Yeah, I was.
Such a fucking weird guy.
yeah, I've changed a lot since then. I've changed a lot of opinions on things since then.
That's why you can't really hold like teenagers accountable for shit.
I'm more liberal in some areas and more conservative in some areas than I used to be as a teenager.
Especially
Yeah.
on the Jews. But when it comes to like teenagers, I never feel like I've got like a good handle on what it is that they're like being entertained by or what it is that
Skippity
they're in.
toilet.
See,
Yeah,
that's
skibbity
what I
brain
mean
rot.
by this. Skibbity toilet, I know what it is. We know what it is because it's entertainment for small children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we 100% know what that is because we're like, yeah, it's what all the kids are
Dude,
into.
people at my job get Or like, yeah, skibbity toilet.
They were like Skibbity Biden.
The Rizzler.
Skibbity Biden, yes.
Near the Rizzler.
Sticking out your gat for the Rizzler.
Yeah. Yep.
So like, I honestly, I don't feel. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like the guys I work with were pretty recently out of high school, so I guess I don't feel too badly out of touch.
Are they really into Skibbity Toilet? Is that a real thing? People you
Like,
work
they
with
don't
are into
sit-
Skibbity
I
Toilet?
don't know if they just sit down and watch every episode of Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, but Skibbity Toilet is like entertainment for like actual 7 to 9 year olds.
Is it?
Yes, that's
I
like
thought it
that
was-
is the demographic.
Oh, you know what? We know Aaron. He works at a high school.
That's true.
Oh,
We should ask Aaron what the kids are into.
God, I'm
He
sure
doesn't know.
the
He
answer
tell-
is brain rot.
He
Like,
yeah, he tells me some of the stuff they say, and it's just like, what?
I feel like
what?
everyone in their
Like Skibbity
30s,
Toilet.
Oh, okay.
everyone in their 30s thinks that people who are, 13, 14, 15 years old are obsessed with brain rot for the most part, though. Like, I mean, that's just a generational thing.
Sure.
We have different words for it now, but like, it's the same thing.
Of
that
course,
our
it was the
parents dealt
TV
with and
box.
everything.
It was the boob television box or whatever, or it was the
Mhm.
dang computer,
I don't think you know.
or
what?
just
I've
your
seen-
cell phones
Yeah,
these
pick
days.
a thing.
I've seen some Skibbity Toilet though. It's not like horrible. It's just like some.
It's not
dude
horrible.
Singing. The weirdest thing is like it's a head in the toilet.
Yes, I mean
Well,
it has like its own narrative and everything.
The
It's
singing
just,
didn't come from the creator. That's just a song that existed prior to Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, it's just an Indian song. It was a famous
Mhm.
meme song that was big on TikTok.
Skibbity bop bop.
Have you seen
yes,
that
yes.
song that came out
Yeah.
recently by that
Something.
Indian dude,
Which one?
the big dog?
The big dog?
Steppa or whatever it's called, like-
La, la, la.
No.
Oh, remind,
Eric, stop quoting 20-year-old things.
remind
You're
me.
you're just gonna age yourself.
We can't sing it here because of copyright, but remind me, and we'll watch it after this.
The big dog.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good actually.
Another thing that I think that people don't really think about or talk about enough is how, like, if you're a teenager in Mississippi
Yeah,
and like every teenager's got this like on their phone internet brain rot shit, right? They're part of the internet forum constantly through Twitter or whatever it is they choose to use. But the life of a 14-year-old in Mississippi is so wildly different than the life of a 14-year-old in Chicago.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
different.
So they're two different worlds.
Mhm.
It's obscene, really. And then when people talk about the things that they care about or like the policies that should be implemented, and then, like most people that are arguing about this shit are kids on the internet, especially like LGBTQ shit.
There's not that many people on the internet. It's all bots.
It's true. It is mostly bots.
One thing
13-year-old bots.
that I think
sexy 13-year-old
needs
bots.
to be
Shouldn't say
remembered.
that.
These kids
They're
get
not-
on the
they're not
internet.
human. It's fine.
These kids get on the internet, and I used to be one of them too. We would look at everything. We'd have these really strong opinions about things and whatnot. But as you get older and you back out and you think of like context and the like, people should be able to live radically different lives here in the same country. Like,
Sure.
Different lifestyles for different areas and for what people like. And then if you don't like that, you should have the freedom to move between the states to like go find one that fits you better. Now, a lot of people won't do that just because a lot of people just stay wherever they were born.
And
for
the
most part.
economy.
Right, and the economy, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
The
mean,
economic pressure of moving states. That's why me and Will never left Mississippi. It's not because we didn't want to anymore. It's because who could fucking afford it?
Well, you can't afford a house anywhere, but but here.
Yeah.
an area like this is going to need to be governed different from an area like New York City.
We'll take your phone off the cables.
An inner city is so much different from what we do down here that like the idea that you should treat those people exactly the same doesn't make sense because a problem there isn't the same thing as a problem here as far as what the people are doing day to day. Like think of something as simple as trash or sewage.
Yeah.
When you
Proof
stack
that the
your
federal
people,
government is overextended.
yeah, when you stack your people 15 stories high with like, 15 to 20 rooms on each story, and it's all in that one spot, like you got to deal with sewage and fucking, trash completely differently than you do out here in a rural area.
Yeah, because here we just have a septic tank and call it a fucking day. Dig a hole, shit in the hole.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's disgusting, but
I mean, it's indoor plumbing still though. Like
technically,
I
it's indoor plumbing.
have you ever gone out and had to clean your own septic tank?
No, there's companies that do that for us, thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't like having to
City
pay
sewer,
for it,
though.
but what?
Aren't you on the city sewer?
Thank God I am, yes. But before I had this house, I lived in a place that had a septic tank. and just
Also,
Jesus.
you're supposed to clean that like every 5 years, give or take.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on how many people you got shitting in your house.
Yeah, how often are you using it? How big is it?
Every morning, every night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And there are
hey,
like,
girl, come over. Let me show you how big my septic tank is.
well, there are things that you can like just put into it, like chemicals or like bacteria,
Black.
like bacteria cultures and stuff that you can like throw in there
Eric, what would
that'll
you
clean
do
it for you.
If you like went out and opened your septic tank and there was just a guy in there, like he was just like, hey.
Well, I'd be really surprised that he was alive first, because the
He's wearing a
door to
gas
my
mask.
septic tank is under about
Nah.
a foot of like dirt.
He's got oxygen hooked up, so
Nah,
he can breathe
he's
on.
raw dogging it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's actually like a mythical, magical being.
So I'd be very confused as to how he was alive and in there, especially if he hadn't disturbed the soil.
I'm the septic fairy.
I'm like, okay, hold on. And then I go back into my house and come back with like my shotgun.
No, I'm a mythical creature. No, God damn. I grant wishes, you dumb son of a bitch. Oh, God, I'm bleeding everywhere.
Hold
Fair
on.
enough.
Takes a
Get off
second to
my
reload this thing.
property.
I ain't had no fairies on my property.
This is Mississippi, boy. We don't take kindly to fairies down here.
I don't need no poop fairy.
That's the show, folks. Thank you for listening to AnythingCast. We'll
Wait.
see what?
Trump's leading Harris by 7 points.
Yeah, he's gonna win this election. We already knew that.
No, I
Patrick,
lied.
put in a crowd cheering.
It's the other way around. I read it wrong.
Make him boo, Patrick.
Harris is leading
Oh.
Trump by 7 points.
But
big
that's
sad.
on Will's phone, and Will's phone is like a communist
It's also
phone.
on Reddit. I mean,
So-
he's just reading Reddit, so
Yeah, he's
it's-
just going to like,
Leftist echo
blue
chambers.
badge echo chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone
you-
says Trump bad, Harris good.
Yeah. Also,
You also
hammerandsickle.com, which
get
is
all-
also your favorite.
Mhm.
The favorite communist website I go to often
It's
is
the Jacobians.
either marxistarchives.org or the Jacobin,
Yeah, the Jacobin. I knew
which is
it.
a newspaper for leftists.
Well,
Kinda
that's
like-
super interesting. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.